Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be doing an oil change on the Raptor. Today we're going to be using semi-synthetic 10W50 oil. The reason I use synthetic oil is because I put a lot of hours on the engine. They're not necessarily hard hours, but if you put a lot of hours on your engine and you don't want to change your oil that often, I definitely recommend using a semi-synthetic or a full synthetic oil. An oil change on a Raptor 700 takes just about 2 quarts of oil and of course a filter. Alright guys, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do before you do an oil change on any vehicle is just start it up and warm up your engine. Warm oil flows a lot better than cold oil, just like anything else. Pretty much every fluid is going to flow better when it's warmer versus colder. Alright guys, so now that the four-wheeler's warmed up, let's put some gloves on and get to work. Alright guys, so we got our bucket down here. The first thing we're going to do is drain the oil tank, which is right up here. You're going to want to drain from your highest point to your lowest point. So our tank drain is a little bit higher than our case drain. So we're going to start with the tank. For this part, you're just going to need a 12mm socket. So in order to drain your tank, the bolt is just right on the bottom here. We're just going to give that a good crack. Get our bucket ready. And the goal is to catch the bolt so it doesn't fall in the bucket. Uh-oh, we forgot to get paper towels. All right, we got a paper towel. Whew. And we caught the bolt. It's always a good day when that happens. So we're gonna go ahead and let that drain for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna drain the case oil. Alright guys, so it's finished draining. Let's go ahead and put our bolt back in. Definitely do not forget this step, because when you fill your oil back up, you're going to lose it all again. So this is kind of an important step. And if you guys are wondering what torque to torque your bolts down to, honestly, I'm not the guy to ask. It's not very much torque, I know that. I just do it till they're snug and I know they're not going to fall out. It's around 10 foot-pounds, so definitely do not over torque your bolts, because all that these screws are going into is aluminum, and if you strip that, you're basically out of luck. Alright guys, so next step, let's drain the case oil. It has about a half a quart in here, so definitely less than the tank itself. You're going to need a 22mm socket for this. And after you break it loose, just use your fingers since it's such a big bolt. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, so far so good. Let's just let that drain for a little bit. Alright, so now that it's finished dripping, let's put in our drain plug. Definitely don't forget that. And again, do not torque this bolt down that much. I think the torque on this one is maybe 12 or 14 foot-pounds. Not a lot of torque, otherwise you're going to strip your case out, and that sucks. Alright guys, so the last thing we have to remove and drain the oil out of is our oil filter. This is going to require a 5/32 Allen or a 5mm Allen. There's 3 bolts, this one, and this one. This is your drain bolt right here. So obviously you're going to want to remove this bolt first and drain whatever oil is in there out. So let's go ahead and remove our drain bolt, which is this one right here. I recommend that you get a paper towel and just kind of seat it in there, because this is obviously just going to be a big mess, as you can tell. It's really hard to get it to flow into a bucket. Near to impossible. So we're just going to do something like that and take our bolt out. And it should start to drain out. Alright, let's let that flow for a few minutes, and then we're going to take the whole filter out. So now that oil has stopped flowing out of here, let's remove the other 2 bolts. And when you remove this, there's a lot more oil that's going to come out. So again, have a paper towel ready to avoid what's about to happen, I'm pretty sure. Have another paper towel. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. There's still plenty of oil left in there, unfortunately. I really wish they would have designed this like a little better, just so oil just doesn't go everywhere when you do this, but they didn't think that far ahead. All right, so I think most of the oil is out of there. Let's go ahead and remove the filter. And your filter is going to be seated in there, and just remove it. You're going to want to make sure that you remove both rubber O-rings on this side and the other side. If you leave those in there, your next oil filter is not going to go on. All right, so let me clarify something. Your new filter will come with a rubber O-ring on this side and this side. So you're gonna wanna remove and make sure that your no rubber O-rings are stuck inside here or on the cap over here. The next step we're gonna wanna do is get our new oil and break the seal on it, dip our finger in it, and just lubricate the oil seals, because if you don't lubricate the oil seals on your filter, they just won't seal properly. Once you oil them, it just makes for a better seal. So both that one and the one on the outside. Once that's done, we can place our filter in the four-wheeler. We want to have the nipple side go in, just like that. Orientation doesn't really matter. Once we have the filter seated in there, let's just go ahead and put our cap on, just like that. And just like you're tightening anything, like a wheel or anything like that, just make sure you don't tighten one bolt fully down. Just go ahead and just do a circle with them, just so they get evenly tightened. And for a third time, the torque on these is not that much, guys. I think it's 7 foot-pounds. So just again, do it till they're snug. Make sure not to strip these, because these ones would suck. All right, filter's in place. Let's just do a little cleanup here. It's a good idea just to clean up your four-wheeler, otherwise any dust that you go over, if you go on a gravel road, this thing will just pick up all the dust from all the oil that's over it. So try to get all the oil off of it. It's a good idea to just use an engine degreaser after you change your oil. So now it is time to fill the oil. I always fill my case oil first, just because, again, that's just, I feel like the easiest part to do. So there's two places to fill oil, like I said, the case, and then we have to fill the tank. If you do a filter replacement and an oil change, you're gonna wanna put in just over a half a quart of new oil into your case. And how you fill your case is with an Allen wrench. I believe it's a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna correct it on the screen if I'm wrong, or a 8mm Allen. Kind of a weird size, and a lot of people don't have that in their garage. I'm lucky and I have it, so. All right guys, so like I was saying, just over a half a quart of oil into your case. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the oil just below the 16, kind of in between the 16 and 12. Right about at that 14 mark, right about here. And right about there should be good. All right, case oil's in. Let's go ahead and put our plug back on. And I guess for a 4th time, again guys, do not over torque this one. Just until it's snug. All right, so the case oil is in it. Let's go ahead and put the tank oil in. All right guys, so we came around to the other side of the four-wheeler. This is where the tank fill is. Luckily, we don't need any tools here. We're just gonna remove the dipstick. The tank on the Raptor 700 takes quite a bit more oil than the case. We're gonna put in a full quart, and we're just gonna play it by ear after that. Usually it takes me about another 1/4 or just a little bit more. So that was a full quart of oil. We're gonna go get our other container that we were using earlier. It's at about the 14 mark, just the way we left it. We're gonna bring it down to about the 8. And we're gonna check the oil then and see how much we need to add. All right, so now that we filled our oil tank up with about 1.5 quart of oil, we're gonna get our dipstick and we're just gonna stick it in just like that. A lot of people think you have to screw it down. Not true, you just stick it in there until it's kind of flush and feels solid, and remove it and see how much oil is on the stick. So let's take a look, and we are right about at the full mark. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is right at the full mark. So we are good to go. Let's put our dipstick back in and just make sure all our bolts are tight. We don't want anything leaking out. Just check for any oil that's leaking. I don't have any oil leaking, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. So this whole process took me about 30 to 45 minutes. And the two tools that most people wouldn't have to do this oil change is the 22mm socket and the larger size Allen wrench. So be sure you have those two tools if you plan on doing this yourself. So thanks for watching the video guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for next Saturday because I got a sweet video coming for you guys. Something that I've never done. So definitely stay tuned and I'll see you next Saturday.